What's going on, YouTube? Trucking to Life here one more time, guys. Guys and girls and girls and girls. Yeah. Anyway, guys, today's video is going to be about, these are things owner-operators learn just for being an owner-operator. If you've been an owner-operator out here, if you've been around some owner-operators, you might hear them talking about this stuff, or you don't know until you get in the game. Either way it go, this is some things owner-operators learn. If you're an owner-operator, you might deal with some of these things. So the reason I say that, guys, I hear people tell me all the time they want to be an owner-operator, and I ask a couple questions, a couple layers deep of the questions about why they want to become an owner-operator, and they so surface. Most people I talk to are so surface. So I want you to know, if you're an owner-operator, you might have to, learn some of these things or face some of these things. One thing, you learn how to look at money different. I remember with me, when I first became an owner-operator, I didn't know bills could get that high. I didn't know mechanic shop bills could get that high. I've had a hood car that cost $500 for the car, for the whole car. Don't get me wrong, it ain't make it out the hood much far in the hood, but the whole car costs $500. When you're an operator and you go on to some of these shops and you see some of these bills, you see mortgages. It be mortgages. You be like, hey, I don't own this house. What is this? That's your bill. You got to pay that. So if anybody have been in the shop for like some major repairs, you know when that bill get 3, 4, 5,000, you like, well, I know they ain't going no higher than that. 6, 7, 8, 9,000. You're like, whoa. Hey man, where's the cutoff point at? Hit the top button. Because they like, hey, you want this stuff done, fix it. And that's what I was talking about, how to maintain your truck and not go broke, guys. Check out that video. I talk about how not to go broke and maintain your truck at the same time. But some guys, they bills be like 10, 12 grand. Sometimes the bill be like 1,200, 1,300, 1,500. Still, if you ain't got it, that's a lot of money. So you look at money differently. Like, so now when you go into a shop and they tell you, oh, the bill's only $500. You're like, who, $500? Who do I pay? Like, hey, you got the mechanic, you got the janitor. Hey, you, come here. They said I can pay $500 for this, man. The truck fixed. He's like, I'm just a janitor, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to pay for y'all, change your mind. So anytime you see a $500 bill in the shop, it's like, don't get me wrong, before, when you had that $500, when I had that $500 car, like, that's a lot of money. But when you go in the shop and your bill only $500, who do I pay and where I pay at? You know what I'm saying? It's like, get out of here. The truck fixed. Let's go. Another thing is owner-operator, you learn. I did another video about this. I put this in that video. You kill what you eat. You learn that. You learn that. Well, for me, I worked at a regular job. I go to work, I punch a clock, and I work so many hours. I got paid this much per hour, and then after I worked that many hours, I got this much for my check. When you're on operator, it don't work like that. How it works is, you got your work, whether you're on operator, as far as like your own authority, whether you got your leased on, whether you got your own company, payroll got to be met. And if you ain't out there moving nothing that makes some sense, you can't make payroll. So you didn't kill nothing, guess what? You don't eat nothing, man. I got a little savings saved up. I'm good. You start seeing them crazy numbers, some shop bill numbers, and you start seeing them fines that you could get. You start looking like, hey man, the money you making could go blank like this. Now, am I saying don't be an owner operator? I'm not saying nothing. I'm saying you make the decision that's best for you. I'm just saying that if you ever become an owner operator, if you are an owner operator, you know you're going to face these things. So regardless of sick days, guys, it's been times I done drove with a sprung ankle. I'm going to leave that right there. If you're a truck driver and you go to work and you work for a company, they worry about the plates, they worry about the tags, they worry about the IFTA, they worry about the fuel tax, they worry about the taxes, they worry about all that stuff. For the most part, unless you're 1099, then that's on you. But anyway, I digress. When you're an operator, you got to factor in all that stuff. The 2290 that's due around between July every year, they don't care about it if you ain't got no money. You can call them and try to talk to them. Hey, man, you can't renew your plates without that 2290 paid. So you got to make sure if you got nothing else, you got the 2290 money set to the side every middle of the year, because they want that money before it comes time to renew your plates. Even with the IFTA, how many miles you running in this state? Where you getting your fuel from? You encounter this stuff as an owner operator. So now you watch where you fuel, you watch how to do the fuel tax, because you don't want to owe. So if you haven't thought about this stuff, I'm putting it on your mind just so you can think about it. You learn a risk to reward ratio. Now I'm gonna give you an example. If I move my load, if I move this load and I move this empty, especially dealing with intermodal, I'm using intermodal for a good example. Some companies I was with, right? I had hazmat. I used to have hazmat endorsed. I had it endorsed for over 15 years, right? And I realized something. It was good when I was a company driver, but when I became an owner operator, not so good. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how the day go. You know what I'm talking about? So anyway, I ended up letting it go. But anyway, besides that, so I had hazmat, and they had this load that was paying, I guess at that time, the load was probably paying like $130, something like that. It was going a short distance. They said, hey, well, we could have you move this load right here for like a hazmat load for another $100, right? So now it's paying $230. So you figure, okay, $230, yeah. At the moment, it sounds good. But if you have an accident with that hazmat load, I found out the fines for the hazmat crew to come out, or anything happens, that extra $100 they paying on that hazmat load ain't even worth the risk. So you learn the risk to reward ratio as an owner operator. You learn, hey man, I'm taking this risk, especially doing a motor. You learn the risk you take for moving certain loads, certain boxes. You realize, hey man, this ain't worth the risk, because the reward looks good up front, but that back end risk look a little pricey. So I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this one, you know? So that's money. Do you see this lump sum this week? You might have had a horrible week the week before, or expensive from last week because your check was so short, or your settlement was so short. So you learn how your checks and balances. You learn that your money you see right there is not all your money, because you got to allocate that to taxes and everything else that come along with that. So you look at the weekly settlement, you like, man, this ain't all my money. You know, I got to make sure, you got to mentally tell yourself that, because if not, you'll be in a real pickle when a real jam comes, because you ain't got the dough. One thing you realize too, real quick, is that health insurance, retirement, you gotta pay for and this on top of the expenses of the truck, your personal expenses. This on top of all of that, you gotta get all this stuff squared away, because if you don't get this stuff squared away, you be out here working, spending, and you look up, you have no retirement, you have no savings, you have nothing. You have to still be out here humping and bumping, because you're thinking, the average person thinking, well, I'm gonna be young forever, I can keep doing this. We're not thinking like further down the line, like, hey, how long could I really do this? I have no coverage. I have no health insurance. I have no retirement plan. How long could I do this? And you have to start setting this stuff up on your own, because you are it. I mean, these are things owner operators have to understand. If you do this business, you will learn that it's all on you. You're it. Like, you're it. So that's why I tell anybody, and I'm gonna end this video after this, guys. I tell anybody, have a plan with this stuff. Don't be out here playing games with this stuff, man. Some people out here just partying. They run a bag up. They when it's good. Don't take this out of context. When it's good, they try to run a bag up and go blow it. I'll make it back. How long could you keep doing that? And when the market fall, like the bottom fall like it is right now, people scrambling. So you try to figure, well, what am I gonna do? Like what? Well, get on the good foot. That's what you can do going forward right now. Get on the good foot. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. There's plenty more. Any owner operators out there, things you learn from being an owner operator, leave in the comments below. If you stopping by for the first time, hit the subscribe button. Why not? Come through here, walk Tussian, baby. Hit that subscribe button. There's a little button at the bottom of the screen, at the bottom by the description area. Hit that button. Why not? You here? Rock with your boy. Also, too, if you're owner operator, small fleet owner, oil company driver, whether you're doing intermodal, you're trying to figure out how to make this trucking game work for you, holler at your boy. He can help you out with that. info@truckingthelife.com. Serious inquiries only. Don't want to waste your other time. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, YouTube. Hope this video is helpful. Give you a little understanding of what's going on. Sure. I'll see you guys next video. Peace.